All right, here we are, 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. Now, this thing's pretty cool. I'm going to do a little condition walk around. I got to say, I don't always get excited when people have trade-ins, but I was pretty excited about this one. I've always kind of wanted one of these, so you can see this particular one. It's got the adaptive cruise in the front. Overall, the front end of this car is really, really clean. It's a about 45,000 mile truck. It does have one dent right here, a little paint chip, little dent. But we'll keep going around this thing. We're going to drive it a little bit, show you kind of what this guy's all about. But he's got slotted brake rotors. Tires are in great shape. They're less than a year old. Overall, this whole side of the vehicle is really clean. It did have a crack in the windshield when we took it in. We actually just put a brand new windshield in it today. So it's good to go. Wheels look great. The truck is lowered. It's got a 1-inch lowering kit. It was installed. It's a Mopar lowering kit. It was installed at the Jeep dealer. It's got the Corsa exhaust on it. Overall, let's see here. That was just dirt. Couple little scuffs on the rear bumper here. Kind of expected. 45,000 mile truck. No damage. Clean Carfax. Accident free. Again, a little scuff here. We'll open this guy up and we'll keep going around. Coming to this side. Again, super clean. No curb rash on the wheels. Door ding free. Nice, beautiful, shiny Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT again. Like I said, we just put a new windshield in it, all professionally calibrated, all the distance assist cruise and all that stuff works. But now let me show you why I'm so excited about this truck, because it's not just clean on the outside, it's clean on the inside. And if you're like me and you're like a 90s kid, and that's when you got into cars, you will appreciate what the previous owner did here. He has just got an absolutely rockin' stereo system in this. Now, there are two JLW12s. They go here in the back. I pulled them out just so you can see. It's super easy. It's just two wires on each side. They're quick disconnect. So if you want to have room for groceries, you got it. If you want to feel the power, you want to feel the bass, you got that too. He's got all MB Quart mid-ranges and tweeters in the doors. Interior wise, it's got a little sunshade. Seats, everything in really good shape in here. Smells good. Not a smoker. I will say these guys, they're like carbon kind of inlays. I don't love those. They haven't aged super well, but it's not like they were not taken care of. They're just all kind of the same. They're just a little rough is probably the best way to describe them. But overall, like I said, 42,697 miles. Look at this MB Quart door speakers. These are the, he told me these are the competition series speakers. It sounds really, really good, y'all. WeatherTech floor mats. Seats are in great shape. It does have, some expected wear. 7-year-old, 42,000 mile truck. Now this truck also has a center console vault. So you want to lock your goodies up, you want to store them in there, you can. I thought that was kind of a cool feature. It does come with both of the keys. Let me whip you around the other side here. We'll take a look at the interior, and then we're going to go drive it. We're going to go drive it. That's what these are about, is driving them. So again, door panel. It's in here, just kind of rough. Passenger seat looks great. You can tell they didn't have the passenger in it too much. And passenger rear. No floor mats in the back, so no rear WeatherTechs. It does have them in the back. But there you go. That's kind of what the inside of this guy looks like. Overall, really clean 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. We're going to go drive it. heard it start up, and man, this thing sounds great. Let's go drive it a little bit, see what we think. I think these have 475 horsepower, so yeah, definitely moves a little bit. Not bad. You know, it's a Jeep. I haven't driven a lot of Jeeps, but my experience with most of them has been that, you know, they're more off-road, they're lifted, things like that. So it's a little bit different being in a Jeep that is actually lowered and kind of sporty. In fact, funny, my neighbor came over yesterday. She's like, "Oh, that's a pretty sporty Jeep that you got there." It is. It looks sporty, feels sporty, drives sporty. Now, mind you, I haven't driven one of these without lowering springs. This one does have the 1-inch Mopar lowering springs. So you can see in the video, I'm probably coming up and down a little bit. I'm not on the smoothest road. But, you know, it rides like a car or a truck that's been lowered, or it's like a pretty sporty ride. But overall, yeah, this thing's pretty plush. Like, it's got some leather, it's got a little power. Exhaust sounds great. This one in particular has a killer stereo. First impression, not too bad on the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. Alright, so even though this car is a 2017, it's got a lot of the stuff you'd expect in a 2023, 2024. It's got lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control. We're using that right now, and pretty happy with it. Lane keeping's like not crazy intrusive. It just kind of makes driving a little bit easier. So, you know, highway check, nice little cruiser for getting out on the freeway. I was actually just playing with the drive modes too, and it was in auto. And so in auto drive mode, you know, I guess it just kind of figures out where it should be. But I clicked it over one to sport, and I really like the way that, you know, the transmission and the shift points respond in the sport mode. It feels a little bit more fun to drive. There's also a track mode. I don't know who would actually take one of these out on a track, but I guess if you did, you got track mode. That's great. There's a launch control button. There's an SRT button, which opens like all the different drive modes. But I think, you know, there's also tow. I think for me, like, I'm a sport mode guy in this car, which I'm not usually a sport mode guy. I usually like a little bit like smoother ride, a little like, you know, kind of brainless driving, and then clicking it into sport mode so that, you know, when you want to have some fun or really like experience the car. But this thing drives great in sport mode. I think I would drive it in sport mode most of the time if I was driving this car every day. All right, so this particular truck has been fully dynamatted. Now, if you don't know what dynamat is, it's a sound deadening material that a lot of the guys that do high-end car stereos put into them, and it really brings down the road noise. So I'm impressed with how quiet this truck is. You can hear the exhaust, but like wind noise, almost none. Road noise off the tires, almost none. So it's really impressive how quiet this thing is when you drive it. Now, there is a gotcha in this truck, and it's really interesting because I have never heard door locks as loud as the door locks in this car. Check this out. Now I'm driving, I'm going like 50 right now, and you can hear those things. It's really loud. Now, the first time you drive it, you get in the car, you start driving a little bit. I don't know about you, I don't naturally lock my doors when I get in the car. So I get about 50 feet away from wherever I was driving, and the first time that thing went off, it scared me so bad. I slammed on the brakes and like looking around. I thought I hit something. They're loud. Door locks are loud. Very strange. It's like, I don't know, it's wild. You get in all these different cars, and they all have their like little nuance. That's an interesting nuance in this Jeep. All right, listen for this. We're coming over the top of the hill. We got the cruise on. We're going about 50. I don't know if you can hear the exhaust note change. So when you're at a regular cruise in an automatic car, at some point the torque converter is going to lock up, and that's what helps you get, you know, better gas mileage and creates a direct drive. In this particular car, when it does that, the exhaust gets a little drony. So just, you know, be prepared for that. When you will know when the torque converter locks and unlocks, because you get some exhaust drone out the back. Don't love that. Pretty common. Lots of cars with aftermarket exhaust, you get a drone. That's especially, they call it highway drone a lot of times. It's usually what it is that when the converter locks and you have, you know, basically your full drivetrain locked back to front to back, that you'll get some resonance in that aftermarket exhaust, and you just get the right tone at the right speed. And this one appears to be right about 50 miles an hour. So hopefully you drive a little faster than 50 on the freeway, but you know, don't necessarily love exhaust drone. That's one downside of having a car with an aftermarket exhaust. And you know, you trade that off for the sporty sound. All right, so kind of final thoughts on this Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. Number one, this particular car, I cannot overstate how good the stereo sounds. He's got IndyCorp Pro door speakers. There's IndyCorp Pro tweeters up here. The car's all been dynamated. There's, you know, upgraded speakers in the back. There's the amp kit in the back. There's the JL12 W6s in the back. I mean, this thing jams, and it just sounds amazing. I mean, I used to be a pretty big stereo guy, audiophile. This may be the best sounding stereo I've ever heard. It's unbelievable. So if you're into that, you're probably into this car. Overall, Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT review, it's fine. Like, it's not crazy fast. It actually handles better than I expected it to handle. It looks kind of cool. It sounds super mean. It's nice enough on the inside, you know, it's typical kind of Jeep on the inside. This one in particular has like a full leather dash. It's finished out. It's got this carbon fibery looking stuff. So it's pretty nice overall. I don't know that it's the car that I would want to buy, but if you are a Mopar fan, this is probably the one for you. And if you want an SRT, we just put this on. This is the lowest priced, no accident, lowest miles SRT in the country. We listed it at $42,500. It's an amazing deal, especially because you get all the stereo, everything else. We'll leave it up for a few weeks. If it doesn't sell, it's going to auction. It's going to go to Cars and Bids. I love selling cars with those guys. It's always fun. And then you get to sell to an enthusiast, which is even better. So hope this helps. If you have questions, reach out to us. Thanks so much for watching.